Strummer Dundee here, and it's time for another Caffeine Corner. So, I kind of have a whole lot of things to do today, and I, through no fault of my own, woke up at like 10 a.m. So I really need to get energized and get going. So this makes for a great time to film a Caffeine Corner. Today we're taking a look at something I kind of stumbled across. I found out that Wawa, if you're not familiar, they are a gas station slash sandwich making slash convenience store kind of chain, has their own brand of canned coffee drinks. So this is Wawa's cold brew coffee in the flavor Mocha. And I thought this was pretty interesting. I really love canned coffee drinks, and I really love Wawa's coffee, specifically the Cuban roast that they make for their normal hot coffee service. And I was really intrigued to find this and a couple of different flavors where the Starbucks drinks normally would be in the cooler. So I decided to get the mocha flavor. They did have, I want to say, just a regular, I don't know if it even had sugar in it, cold brew flavor, and I think they had a vanilla one, but I almost always go for the mocha flavor when I try new kind of canned coffee drinks in general, because if you can't get the chocolate right, it can taste really chalky and gross. So that's why I usually go for the mocha drinks when I'm trying things out for the first time. So as far as nutritional value and comparison, I have some notes here, let me check. The Wawa cold brew canned coffee in mocha is 9 ounces of beverage you get. It has about 15 grams of carbs, which is something that I'm concerned about. Like, I look at the number of carbohydrates and the things that I consume just because I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates. I'm also not an athlete or anything like that. But it's important to know how much sugar might be in your drink as well. So 15 grams of carbs and no fiber. It is about 100 calories for this size, which I think is pretty good. It is made, let's see if I can find it on here, with lactose-free milk, which means I feel like most adults, especially depending on your ancestry and genetics and things like that, most adults are kind of lactose intolerant, if not very lactose intolerant. So it's really nice to have something that, yes, does have dairy in it, because dairy is kind of tasty in coffee for most people, but also uses lactose-free milk, so you're not like 2 hours after drinking it like, I feel gross and terrible and like I'm gonna be sick. So that is kind of nice that they use lactose-free milk. Another thing as far as caffeine content, this is 160 milligrams of caffeine. Now, a couple comparisons. I'll put them right up here as we talk about them. First one I want to compare this to is the Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink, which is a little bit smaller than this can. It is about, let's see, I think it's 6.5 fluid ounces for the Starbucks Double Shot Espresso. It is quite a bit smaller. It does have 18 carbs though, so more carbs than this, even though it doesn't have chocolate flavor in it or anything. 140 calories, so again, more calories, even though it's smaller. And then 110 milligrams of caffeine. So less caffeine, slightly more carbs, and slightly more calories. Now that does make sense because espresso does tend to have less caffeine content than cold brew coffee. If you haven't seen it before, I made a lovely little video about the time I messed up my cold brew coffee and accidentally drank like 60 something cups of coffee all at once. So if you're interested in that, it'll be located somewhere in the Caffeine Corner playlist, I'm sure. So as far as taste, I have had the Starbucks Double Shot Espressos quite a lot. It tastes pretty good. It's espresso, cream, a little bit of sugar, tastes really nice. Something I could drink a whole lot of, but you're not really supposed to do that because, you know, caffeine poisoning. But it is a very tasty drink. So the second thing I wanted to compare this to is the High Brew Dark Chocolate Mocha Cold Brew. So instead of an espresso beverage, this is another cold brew beverage. So as far as the High Brew Dark Chocolate Mocha Cold Brew, it's about 90 calories, so it is less calories, or fewer calories. It has about 10 to 12 carbs. I couldn't get an exact carb count on that. And then 130 to 150 milligrams. So more caffeine than the Starbucks, but still less caffeine than this. So fewer calories, fewer carbs, about the same to slightly under caffeine. Now the only thing is the dark chocolate mocha high brew had that weird chalky taste that I don't super like with mocha drinks, so that's something to watch out for. So let's go ahead and give this, if I can spin the label to actually follow through, let's go ahead and give this a drink. Now, normally I shake up mocha coffee drinks because they tell you to, but this one specifically says do not shake on it, so I won't shake it. I'll just open it. It has been chilling for a while because I've been saving it for this video, and I really need it today. Here we go. Okay, so it smells like, I don't know if you could see the little fog coming off of that. It does smell like a pretty normal mocha canned coffee drink, much like I would say the high brew one, or really any canned mocha coffee drink. And I'm used to, if you don't shake it, you get that like gross chocolate sediment down at the bottom. So we're gonna see if this does the same thing. Now, to be fair, I burned my tongue really badly on coffee 2 days ago, so taking that into consideration, this is pretty good. It's not super chocolatey, but it does have a pretty bracing kind of cold brew taste with mocha in it. So overall, I would say it's pretty good. I'm not getting like the sediment that you might get from not shaking it up. It seems to have like a really good cold brew coffee flavor. It has a decent mocha flavor, 100 calories, got quite a bit of caffeine in it. I think this is for me. I can't remember exactly how much this was, and I haven't been able to find it online anywhere. I couldn't find any additional info even on Wawa's site, so maybe I checked too soon. Maybe Florida is the place where they pilot out new flavors. I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't think it was terribly expensive. It was probably like $2 or something, which is usually the price of a canned coffee drink. So I'm gonna keep drinking on this. Overall, I think it's a pretty good buy. If you were interested in cold brew coffee and not making it yourself, just in case you mess up like I have done several times, you know, it happens. So if you're interested in cold brew coffee, if you're interested in canned coffee, if you're interested in mocha, if you're interested in something that doesn't have, I mean, 15 carbs is still like a lot for a drink for me. So I would not classify this as a low carb or healthy drink in any way. But it's not terrible. Soda's worse. Regular coffee is better. You know, pick your poison. Anyway, that was my review of the Wawa Cold Brew Coffee in Mocha with its 100% Arabica beans made with real cocoa and other natural flavors. Whatever those are, it's alright. Death is coming. Give me the hot dogs, give me the artificial flavors. It's okay. That's all for me for today. I'll see you in another video, maybe talking about coffee, maybe talking about Animal Crossing and how it was severely neglected at the E3 showcase. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I'll see you in another video. Bye.